Hi guys, in today's video we are going to learn about the concept bond valuation, and I hope this video helps you to gain some knowledge on this particular concept only if you watch this video till the end. Okay, let's take the first concept, that is, what are bonds? What are bonds? These are set as the financial securities that are issued either by government or the companies or the firms. We can say the firms or the companies or the government. So these are issued by the governments or the firms, and these are called the financial securities. So why they issue some bonds? Like when they need some money, so that's the reason they issue the bonds, and whoever buys it, they will not buy for without a reason, right? They expect something in return, that is the interest. Like if I buy those bonds, I will expect that I will get some periodically in some interest, so that I can get benefited. And at the same time, the firms and government are also getting benefited because they are getting the money they wanted at the right time. Okay, so these are the financial securities that are issued by firms and the government as a means of borrowing long-term funds. Okay, and these are having some particular specific period. Okay, they are having some specific period. So if I say that a company is issuing bonds for 10 years, then the bond age is 10 years, right? So after 10 years again the government or the firm will buy back. So that buyback term is called redeemable. What is that called? Redeemable. Okay, so they will redeem their shares back. That means they buy back the shares. Okay, so they will be redeemed at the specific for after a specific period they will redeem their bonds back. But within this time of 10 years, I said the bond is redeemable after 10 years. So within this 10 years the firms will provide the particular or fixed interest rate, or we can say they will provide the fixed interest rate to the persons who have bought those bonds. Okay, so how they can say this is the interest that I can give? It completely depends on the value on which the shares have been, like the bonds have been bought, right? So that is called as the face value. That is called as a face value. Okay, I hope you are clear till now. Let me explain, like let me revise it once again quickly. So bonds are the financial securities that are issued either by the firms or the government as a means of borrowing long-term funds. They are issued with a fixed value, and they have some fixed interest rate, and they are redeemable after some specific period. Got it? So this is the quick introduction about bonds. Next, there are some key terms that are needed to be learned before we are getting into the sums or the problems. Okay, so here let me give you a quick concept here, which is expected cash flow. That is, when I'm buying this, I'll expect some cash flow in return, right? So how I can calculate this cash flow is the annual or the periodic. Let me not confuse you, I'll write the periodically paid. Okay, periodically paid interest payments. Like I told you, na, they will issue some interest periodically, either it can be done annually or semi-annually. So periodically paid interest payments plus repayment of principal. That means like I am buying it 100 rupees, let's say. Okay, I am buying it 100 rupees for 10 years. So what happens is, first I am giving my money to the particular firm or the government, right? So once I have given my money to the particular firm and when I bought my bonds, what happens here is every time, let's say for 10 years, every year for the 1 year, 2 years and 3 years, annually I'll get some interest from them. Okay, once this 10-year period has been completed, they will give my 10th year interest rate, also my money that I have kept while buying the bond. So this is how I can expect my cash flow, like every year the periodical interest pay and also the principal or the amount that I have kept while buying this bond. So that is how I can calculate my expected cash flow. Now let's see the key terms that are important for solving the problems. Okay, so the first one that I want to discuss is face value, which is also called as par value. Okay, so this is like either face value or the par value. This is the amount borrowed by the company and that is need to be repaid on the specific date. Okay, like when they are issuing the bond, they will specify the bond price, right? They will say that we are issuing the bond for 100 rupees. So the company is saying that they will issue this for 100 rupees. So this will be the face value. Okay, about coupon rate. Okay, so what is coupon rate? It can be said as rate of interest given on face value. Okay, so which is paid to the bondholder. This is paid to bondholder. Okay, who is bondholder? The persons who bought those bonds, right? So the company pays them periodically some interest. So half they will give interest depending on the coupon rate they have given while issuing the bond. Okay, next one is redemption value. I already told you what is meant by redemption, right? So redemption is nothing but buyback. So the value at which they are buying back is called as redemption value. And one more thing, they can buy back the bonds from the bondholders at the same price they issued. That is, they can buy back at face value or par value, or they can buy back in discounted or premium. And discount or premium, that means what is meant by discount you already know. It's like not giving the exact money, reducing some amount from that money. So they can buy back their bonds at the value they have issued, or less than the value they issued, or more than the value they issued. So it depends according to that period and the situations they are. Okay, so redemption value can be cut short said as value at which shares are redeemed. So next, the final term, the most important term is market value. So what is this market value? We have said that the companies will say that this is the bond price, and the who are interested, they will buy those bonds. That is called face value. So once they have bought those bonds, there will be some purchasing and selling in the, like it will be usually done in stock market actually. So actually bonds are bought in stock market. So once who bought those bonds can resell to another person, or some members can buy from the persons who already bought those bonds. So they can, like if I have bought this bond, let's say, so I have purchased the bond at 100 rupees, and I can sell this bond to some other people at 105 rupees. Or else I can also sometimes, if I think I can't get much return, so sometimes I can also sell it at lower rate, right? So this is like, it's not related to the company or the government. This is completely related to the buyers and sellers in that particular market, in the market. So that's the reason it is called as market value. So it is the price of bonds in OTC market, and here it is the purchasing or the selling price done in the market, that is called as market value. So these are the four important terms that you need to be aware of before doing the problems. So that's the reason I have done this revision till now. Without any further delay, we can go ahead with the problems. Let me take an example that we have discussed about face value, right? The value on which the bonds are issued by the company, and we also have discussed about coupon rate or the interest rate, right? What is meant by coupon rate? Like it is the return, it is the rate of interest on the face value, right? And we also have discussed that it will be having some specific period that is called as maturity period. Okay, so that is also we have discussed. And then we have also discussed about the required rate of return, right? Required rate of return. So these are the main things that will be discussed and that are needed. Okay, so now we are going to find the market value. Then where are the values? Wait, let me give. Okay, so here let's assume that a company has issued their bonds at the face value 1000 rupees, and the coupon rate is 12%, and the maturity period is 5 years, and the required rate of return is 10%. So we are here to calculate this market value. So the formula for market value is, I'm just writing MV. So market value is interest pay PVIFA K percent, which is the required rate of return, and N, which is the maturity period, plus face value PVIF K percent comma N. So this is the formula for market value at present. Okay, so let's find this using this data. Okay, as we have discussed about the formula, which is market value equals to, or the present value, or we can say what is the, like they will say this and they'll ask you to find the market value. So the formula is interest pay. So I hope you have wondered about what is this interest pay and what is this PVIFA. So as we are going to calculate the present value, we are taking the concept of time value and money. Okay, so face value PVIF. So which are the things that are not with us right now? Those are interest pay. So let me tell you how we can calculate this interest payment or interest pay. So how we can calculate is the face value into coupon rate by 100. Okay, so you can say that face value is 1000 and coupon rate is 12 by 100. Now my interest pay is 120. So this is my interest payment. Okay, so now I will substitute it here, and I already know the face value, which is 1000, and my required rate of return 10%, and N is 5 years. So let's substitute here. Now I'm doing this market price, right? So without any further confusion, let me write MP, which is market price. So what is my interest pay here? It's 120. So 120, and I hope you know the formula for PVIFA, that is 1 plus K whole to the power of 6. Sorry, here is 5, right? Sorry. So whole to the power of n minus 1 by 1 plus k whole to the power of n, and thus. So this is the formula. Here we need to take it in the k in the form of decimals. Okay, we are not taking in the form of percentage. So here I need to write like 1 plus 0.10 whole to the power of 5 minus 1, 1 plus 0.10 whole to the power of 5, and here this is half I will write, because here k is 10% and n is 5. Okay, and what is my face value? 1000. And what is PVIF formula? It is 1 by 1 plus k whole to the power of n. This is PVIF, right? So let me substitute this. 1 by 1 plus 0.10 whole to the power of 5, right? This is half I need to. So I need to solve them, and so that I will get my market price. Okay, so without wasting time, I have done this calculation, and I request you to pause the video and you can do this calculation and you can cross check with the answer I have got. Okay, so this can help you. So that's the reason I have done the calculation. So I have solved it step by step, and finally I got my market price as 1075.80. And always try preferring after decimal you can take up to 4 digits, so that you can get some accurate value. Okay, so this is how, and my market price is 1075.80. so this is the way how we calculate the market price. And let me also tell you how to calculate semi-annually. So this has been taken for annually, right? Like this is taken for annual. So let me also tell you the formula for semi-annual. Before that, let me write this formula once again so that you will never get confused. So here I'm saying that market price for annual is interest pay, PVIFA, K required rate of return, N plus face value, PVIF, K percent, comma n, right? So this is what I meant till now, right? So this is for annually, right? So let me tell you, if it is semi-annual, like if the interest payment are paid semi-annually, then what's the formula? What is the formula? Let's see. So here, remember, we will see, let me take a quick diagram. So this is the point where I started and where I'm going to end. Okay, so this is 0 and this is my fifth year. So every year, 1 2 3, sorry, I'm very bad at drawing, give me a minute. Let's say I am starting from 0, 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, so I am buying my bond at 0th year, that is, let's say today. Okay, so today I am buying the bond, so I have given my 100 rupees or 1000 rupees. Okay, I have given my 1000 rupees to the company and I have bought my bond. Now every year I am getting some interest pay, that is 120 rupees every time. Okay, every year they are paying me 120 rupees, and that maturity period is after 5 years, right? So after, like in the 5th year, they will give me 120 rupees plus whatever the value that I have bought, that is 1000, right? But what if it is semi-annual pay? So they can't give after every like 1.5, 2.5, right? So they can't give 120. That means here, instead of paying 5 times, they are going to pay me 10 times, right? For every 6 months they are going to pay. So what will happen in this case? This will get erased and this will be half, right? So that they can pay me 60 rupees every time. Every 6 months they will pay me 60 rupees. Okay, so this is what. So what we are doing here, we are dividing the interest pay. That means whatever the interest pay we are getting, we are dividing it with 2. This is one point to be remembered, the first point. Now the particular time, so every 5 times they are paying me, right? Now they are paying me 10 times. So I need to double my period. Okay, I need to say 5 into 2, that is 10. Okay, so this is another point that needs to be remembered. And interest pay is done, the time period is done. Now coming to my interest rate, so that also needs to be divided by 2. So the required rate of return, which is k also should be divided by 2. I'm writing it here so that you will not get confused. So these are the three main important things that you need to keep in mind when we say semi-annually. So the interest will be divided by 2, required rate of return will be divided by 2, and also the time will be multiplied with 2. Okay, so now let's form the formula for this semi-annual one. Okay, I hope now you are going to tell me. Okay, so let's take this formula as a reference and try it. Okay, I'm not saying it out because you tell me, like, you yourself think what we can write here instead of interest pay. Okay, I hope you all thought in the correct way, right? So what we are doing simply here, we are just taking here, see, this is how we changed. K is what it changed, N is what it changed here, right? So we are changing this three main things so that we can calculate for semi-annual. So please remember this and do the concept. So if you want to take the same sum, you can take, so where you can do it for semi-annually also. Okay, so that you will get k by 2, 2n, that is 2 into 5, and interest pay, which is 120 divided by 2. So this is you can do for semi-annual. Got it? Let's talk about the last concept of today's video, that is for one period holding. What is this one period holding? Any guesses? Let's say I'm the one who is purchasing these bonds. Okay, so I am purchasing these bonds, and I have bought this. I have bought a bond at the face value 1,000, and I want to, I want to sell it. Okay, I'm selling it after 1 year. Okay, selling it after 1 year, and so I'm selling it, but I'm selling it 800. Okay, I'm selling it the price 800. And what is the coupon rate that I had, which is 8%. Okay, so now let's calculate, what if I have kept the bond with me for a year and I'm selling it back. So how can I calculate whether I'm how much like what is the difference that I'm getting. Okay, so let's see the formula first, which is pt1 minus pt0 plus interest pay divided by pt0. So the price at which I have bought, the price at which I have sold, and the interest pay that I had with me for that 1 year. So how we calculate interest pay, you already know, that is FV into CR by 100. This is for interest pay I am talking. So for interest pay, 1000 into 8 by 100, which is 80 rupees, right? So now I'm going to substitute. I have sold for 800 and I have bought for 1000, and my interest pay is 80 and I have sold it for 1000. So do the calculation and let me know the value. I'm just pausing. So now I am getting here, the value is around minus 0.12. That means see here I'm getting minus, right? So which can be said that if I'm doing it like this, I'm getting 12% loss. I'm getting 12% loss. So to know this is the formula that we use. Okay. There might also be a situation that where I can sell this at 110 rupees. So again this formula will change, right? So here it will be like 110, like 1100, and again this calculation will change. So this time for sure I'll get some profit for sure, right? So to know this is the formula for one hold period, like one period holding. So I hope you found this video a bit helpful, and please like, share and subscribe if you found these things helpful, so that can boost me to make more and more videos. Bye bye, take care, all the best for exams.